Welcome to The Balance Era, a podcast for the women rewriting the rules. Here, we leave behind the pressure to be perfect and step into a life built on self-love, softness, strength, and intention. I'm your host, Madison, a former overachiever, fitness girl, and lifelong perfectionist, learning how to slow down, show up, and trust myself again. Each week, we'll be talking about what it really means to live in alignment, from body image and burnout to confidence, femininity, and chasing big dreams without losing yourself in the process. This is your space to breathe, to feel seen, and to remember you don't have to choose between ambition and peace. Welcome to the Balance Era. You're right on time. Hello, welcome to episode 3 of the Balance Era podcast. I'm so excited for this week's episode. We are talking all about vision boards, talking about what a vision board really is, why they can work, journal prompts to help you plan your vision board, and just some tips and tricks that I have learned over the years with creating my vision boards. Growing up, I would go on Pinterest and make vision boards for the new year, and I would just pin all of these cute aesthetic posts that inspired me of like who I wanted to become. So I did that growing up, and I loved it, but I never made a physical copy. I think I made maybe one physical vision board. I think I did it with my mom and my sister, if I'm remembering correctly. But we cut pictures out of a magazine, and it was a little bit different because I think I was younger, so I wasn't quite sure what I really wanted to be or who I wanted to be. But this year, 2025, I knew that I wanted to be intentional with the goals that I was setting for myself. And I have been someone that would set goals in my journal over the past few years, but I wouldn't really check in on them. I used to do it monthly, and then I got out of that habit. So I would have these goals, but I wasn't really inspired to do anything about them because I wasn't seeing them every day and I wasn't being reminded of them. So this year, in the beginning of 2025, before the new year started, so actually in 2024, I decided that I wanted to make a physical vision board for this year because I knew that I wanted this year to be different and not to just be thinking about the things that I wanted to do in my life, but to actually take some action. And I remember I had listened to Grace Beverly's podcast late December, and she made a whole episode on vision boards. I can link it down below. But she made a whole episode, I guess it wasn't necessarily on vision boards, but it was about resetting for the new year and kind of getting really clear on what you want to achieve this year and what you want to do and who you want to be. So I listened to that episode, and she had a few different journal prompts that I wrote about. I'm going to pull up my document. She had us do a 2024 reflection where you just went through all the things that you achieved and what you enjoyed and what habits you had that you liked, and then what have you not achieved that you would have liked to, and what were the roadblocks that were holding you back. And then we planned for 2025, and so we did prompts who do I want to be, and just small little bullet point lists so you can kind of have a general idea of the different characteristics and things that you want to be, essentially. And then also how I want to live, what I want to do, where do I want to live, which friendships do I want to cultivate, and which experiences do I want to have. Once I took the time to go through and answer all of those questions, and like I mentioned, they're just short little bullet point lists of just maybe not even a complete sentence, but just a few words here and there to describe what friendships do I want to cultivate, what experiences do I want to have, where do I want to live, who do I want to be, all of those things. I'll give an example. For my who do I want to be, I wrote kind to others and to myself, positive and grateful, hardworking and determined, and clean girl. So clean girl aesthetic and just feeling put together and cute and clean and fresh. And that's the whole clean girl vibe. So that was my list of who I wanted to be this year. So once I wrote down all these different ideas of who I wanted to be, I went onto Pinterest and made a folder, I think is what it's called on Pinterest, a folder. Yeah, I made a folder on Pinterest of 2025, and I had different categories. I had who do I want to be, how do I want to live, and what do I want to do. And then I also had a category for mantras and quotes that I wanted to live by. So once I had these categories, I went on Pinterest and probably spent 2.5 hours on Pinterest just like scrolling and having so much fun and just envisioning how I wanted my life to be this year, and not just how I wanted it to look, but how I wanted it to feel. Once I picked out all of my pictures and got the vibe that I wanted, I ordered them all on Walgreens because you can just save photos directly from Pinterest. So I saved them, ordered them to Walgreens and printed them, and I made a physical copy of my vision board this year. And I'm sharing this because I just had to make a new vision board for quarter 3 and 4 of 2025 because so many of my visions on my board came to fruition, and the other parts of them that did not were not aligned with who I wanted to be anymore because things can change. And so like there was so many pictures on my board of like it was a relaxing vibe. Like I just wanted to like chill out and spend time at home, and because I was not someone that would spend time at home. So like that was one of my biggest things was like I wanted to just relax a little bit and not be so go, go, go all the time because I tend to be like that. But I'm at a point now where I'm so focused on building my business with the Balance Era and a few other exciting things that I'm working on that seeing those pictures was not aligned with what I wanted to do anymore because I'm not in my like focusing so much on relaxing era, which I still have my time to myself. I still do my journaling and all of that in the morning, but I'm very focused on building and growing right now. And so I just made a new vision board, and it was so cool to see all the things that I had achieved already this year and that I had done and the ways that I had lived and the mindsets that I had embodied. It was so powerful to be like, I have to make a new vision board because so many of these things came to fruition. So that is why I'm making this episode. And so I hope that it inspires you to create your own vision board. But yeah, let's just get into the full episode. So like I mentioned, a vision board is essentially a collage of different things that you want to do, different ideas of who you want to become and how you want to live. And I really like to include quotes and different mindsets on there as well because mindset for me is so important. And some of these things can be used as like daily affirmations that you repeat to yourself. So I like to put those on the board as well. But it's not just like a cute collage. It is you reminding yourself what is possible in this life if you put your mind to it. When you tie all the different emotional parts to it as well, like with the quotes and how do you want to feel and all of that, it helps you to embody the emotions that you think are tied to those achievements that you want to have or things that you want to do and experience and the way that you want to live. Those are all tied to emotions. And so being able to understand what emotion you are desiring from that new job that you want or that new car that you want or those new clothes that you want or whatever it is, like it's not the thing necessarily, but it's the emotion that you have tied with it and like the emotion that you think that thing is going to bring you. I've talked a lot about emotions and needing to feel what the emotions are that this board is bringing you. And that is because our emotions are vibrational signals and the universe responds to vibration, not just visuals on your board. So you're not just saying that you want something and you want to do something, but you need to look at it and feel like it's already yours because your brain does not know the difference between what is imagined and what is real. So if you begin to feel those emotions of your dream life, it becomes normal for your brain, for your nervous system. Like that reality that you are envisioning for yourself becomes normal for your body. And so it changes from a, I hope it happens to me someday mindset to this is who I am now and this is who I'm becoming. And that helps you to go in the right direction and make the choices that will help you to be aligned with that person that you want to become. Let's talk a little bit about the science behind a vision board and why they aren't just wishful thinking, but it's actually helping to rewire your brain. So we are going to be talking about the RAS, which is the reticular activating system. And this is the part of your brain that is essentially our built-in filter. Because we, as humans, are constantly taking in so much information every second, like millions of things every second. There's different colors, sounds, words, opportunities, faces. Like there's so many things to pay attention to. And we cannot process all of that. And so the reticular activating system is what helps you to decide what's important to you and what is not important to bring to your attention. So let's say, for example, you are looking for a certain car. You're looking for a white Ford Bronco because you wanted to get one. So you looked at one and now you're driving around and you see them everywhere. You see every single white Bronco at every single stoplight. You're like, oh my gosh, everyone drives a white Bronco. But here's the truth. They were always there. You just weren't focused on them. But now that you unknowingly told your reticular activating system that white Bronco is important. And so when your brain picks up and when your mind picks up on a white Bronco, it brings your attention to it because it knows that's important to you. This ties to vision boards because when you are looking at your vision board every single day, you are training your reticular activating system to believe this is important to me, this is my future, this is real, this is who I am and who I am becoming. When your reticular activating system realizes that this is your future, this is important, this is real, this is what you want, you're going to start noticing more opportunities. You're going to start feeling more confident saying yes to things that align with that person that you want to become. And you naturally just begin to shift into making decisions like that future version of yourself without even having to force it because you're looking at that reality that you want every single day on your vision board. And it is just reminding you that is what I want. That is my future. I am going to live that. And it is important to me. And then your brain does the work to help you find these opportunities. Vision boards can help your mind and your body believe that that future that you want and that you desire is real. And when you start to believe that you can live that life and you can be that person, you start taking action that's aligned with that person that you want to be naturally. Like you're not having to force it because you're seeing it every single day and you can begin to live like that person. It's not visualization, but it's mental rehearsal, which so many people talk about. People in sports, people that are acting, like famous people talk about this all the time of practicing things that they want to happen in their mind. I just watched a YouTube short and it was a bunch of different people. There was Beyonce, J-Lo, Ariana Grande. Oh my gosh, there was a few other big names in there, but they were all talking about how some of these things that they have achieved were on their vision boards and they did practice it in their mind before they happened. And it just goes to show that mental rehearsal is so powerful. So if you're practicing in your mind every single day when you're looking at this vision board, oh, this is going to be my future. I am going to live like that. I'm going to have that thing. I'm going to feel like this. I am going to speak these words to myself. I'm going to feel this abundance. Like whatever it is, you are making your subconscious mind feel safe in receiving this success. And repetition is key when looking at your vision board and feeling these emotions that are tied to that life that you want to live. Because if you only look at your vision board once, like that's what I was doing when I was making little vision boards on Pinterest and then like leaving them because I would be inspired in the beginning of the year and then not really follow through with it. If you just look at it once, it's not going to do anything. But when you look at it every single day, it becomes so familiar to your subconscious mind that that's when your reticular activating system starts to filter in the things that are going to bring you that life that you want. Because those opportunities have always been there, but your brain just didn't know that that's what was important to you. Moving along, I'm going to give a few more prompts that you can write about before you start making your vision board, because I think it's so important to have an idea of what you want to feel in this year or this quarter or whatever the vision board is that you're setting for yourself, but what you want to feel, and just be really clear and not be just putting together a bunch of pictures because they're cute, but being very intentional about it. So yeah, I'm just going to read off. I have 5 journal prompts here. So prompt number 1, what does my dream day look like from start to finish? So if you really want to have slow mornings, you could have a picture on your vision board of like a coffee cup in front of a balcony that's like representing your slow morning. Or if you want to hit the ground running right away and you want to hit the gym in the morning, have a picture of someone at the gym that's like an early morning workout, or driving to the gym, like some aesthetic thing that's representing to you going to the gym early. If you want to work a corporate 9-to-5 job and like you like that idea, have a picture of someone in a corporate office working a 9-to-5 job. If you want to start eating whole, healthy, nutritious foods that are going to make you feel good, then have pictures of the foods that you want to eat on your vision board. And think about how all of these things will make you feel as well. Prompt number 2, how does the highest version of me dress, move, speak, and work? So again, focus on the feeling of all of this too. And if you break it up into these 5 prompts that I'm listing, break up your Pinterest board into 5 different prompts, and then you can save different things to each category. So if you're making a pin for what does my dream life or my dream day look like from start to finish, pin a bunch of visuals of your dream life in that folder. And then how does the highest version of me dress and move and speak and work? That is its own folder, and just to keep it organized, because you're not going to be able to use all the photos that you do save. And so being able to go through each category afterwards and sort them is very helpful. Prompt number 3, what are 3 things I want to feel every day this year? So this is where a lot of the mantras that I use come in, because I think that words are very powerful. And if you can repeat them to yourself every single day, it helps to change the way that you are feeling. So what are 3 things that I want to feel every day this year? Prompt number 4, what am I calling in emotionally, financially, physically, and spiritually? Again, make it its own folder, have different visuals, and these visuals don't have to make sense to anyone but you. Only you know what these different visuals represent on your vision board and what they mean to you, but make sure that they all have a meaning and they're not just cute pictures of some girl at Pilates. Like, what do you want? Do you want to feel healthy like her? Do you want that outfit that she's wearing? Do you want to go to Pilates? Did you like her hair? Like, what about that photo stuck out to you? And make sure that you are pinning it in accordance to that. And prompt number 5, what no longer belongs in the next version of my life? So for this one, you're not going to put pictures of what you don't want in your life, but it's good to get clear in your mind of what you don't want to bring in to this future version of you. So if you don't want to have any more negative self-talk, write that down in this prompt, and then we can find different visuals on Pinterest and different quotes that are talking about positive self-talk and speaking to yourself with kindness and positive affirmations. If you no longer want to be a yes man and you don't want to say yes to every single plan because you are feeling drained and you don't know how to set boundaries, find a visual that represents someone that is setting boundaries and that is comfortable with saying no to things that they don't want to do and that don't align with them. So do not do not put pictures on your vision board of things that you don't want to bring into this next version of your life, but get clear on what you don't want to bring into this version of your life, and then put visuals of the opposite, or like what you would like to do instead of that. So those are all the tips that I have for creating a vision board and being intentional with what you're putting on your vision board. If you want to watch my video that I made in the beginning of this year of making my vision board, it shows you how I did it. I usually just use a white like poster board that I got at Walmart and then Mod Podge, and I use that to glue on all the different photos, and then I do a layer of Mod Podge on top. But I did make a reel of that at the beginning of this year, so it was in January of 2025. And then I also just made a new one of me making my new vision board for this year, which is very exciting. So if you want to watch either of those, it shows actually how I do it if you're more of a visual learner. But I just want to remind you with your vision board, use the visuals that are going to evoke the emotion that you have of your dream life. So the emotions that your dream life is going to feel like, not just material things. So focus on, if you want abundance in your life, focus on abundance. If you want more gratitude and like prosperity and all these different things, like focus on those and find visuals that are going to bring you that emotion. Because most people, when they want things, they think it's the thing that's going to bring them the emotion. But if you can tap into the emotion first, it is so powerful. And I want to remind you too, this is not like daydreaming and being unrealistic. This is reprogramming your mind to essentially give you a game plan of what you're going to do to actually live the life that you want, instead of keeping it so far out in the future. Because if you think it's so far away and it's so distant from you, it's going to stay far away, because you're not going to act with that sense of, I don't want to say urgency, but that sense that you can have that and it can happen much quicker than you think it's going to. My challenge for you is to make your own vision board for quarters 3 and 4 for 2025. And just, I hope that you feel inspired to take action and stop holding yourself back from becoming that person that you want to be, and that lifestyle that you want to have, and those emotions that you want to feel. Because we are in control of our own lives, and nothing changes if nothing changes. So looking at your vision board every single day will just remind you of what you do want, and it will help to keep you focused on that. I know if you make your physical vision board and you look at it every single day, things will start to change for you, and I just can't wait for you all to experience this. So I challenge you to make your own vision board, hang it on your wall, look at it every single day, and just imagine what it feels like to live that dream life, and look at it every single day. And if you do make a vision board, send me a picture on Instagram if you'd like to. You can also keep it to yourself, because I know that they can be personal, but I just hope that you are inspired to make your own vision board, and I would love to see them if you do. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I had so much fun talking about vision boards, and I hope that you enjoyed this episode, and I hope it was educational. And if you have any questions about vision boards or tips and tricks that I didn't mention in here, you can send me a DM on Instagram, on either of my Instagrams, either the Balance Era Pod or Madison Johnson, either one. But if you have any questions or you need help, I'm here to help. So yeah, I hope you all have a great week, and I will talk to you next week. Bye.